When you were living under the law of Islam, did you find those ceremonies and the things that you had to do, did you feel like that brought you closer to God? How did you experience that in your life?
Um, I was feeling there is something is missing. I don't feel relaxed, but I do it as like, the way we raised and we need to do it. But always I feel there is something emptiness, and the way we are very strict Islamic, and there is a lot of harsh and verbal the way we do sometimes ceremony, and I felt there's something wrong here, because I know God is so great and lovable, and Jesus also, when he came and with the way he was giving his rule, peaceful and love, and we have different completely, I don't know how to explain, but it's completely there's a difference between our as I'm a background Islamic, it's a lot of different, and I don't know how I need to explain.
So you're saying, Huda, that even though you were raised in a strict Muslim society and home, and you practiced the requirements of Islam, they weren't giving you peace in your heart, and you don't think that they were bringing you closer to God. You didn't feel that there was emptiness. Is that right?
I was always feeling emptiness in my heart, and I feel there's something wrong here, and I don't feel that I'm close to God. But when I start going to the churches, I feel I'm much close to God. I go to the church and I feel my tears come down. I feel that there is something there. When I'm in churches, I feel happy. I feel I can be much close to God and speak, and I feel safe even.
So even though you were raised in Islam that this is the way to God, and God is a certain way, something in you said, there's a difference. What you said a few minutes ago about you knew God wasn't like that, and you're saying this is even before you learned much about the Christian faith. You knew that God was somehow more loving a person than what you had found in Islam. Is that what you're sharing with us?
Yes, it's exactly. I mean, the way we know that God, he's a mercy and we are his children, the way in Islam that we raised that we are a slave and we need to obey what rules they give us through God, and it's not true. Jesus said that we are his kids, and the way I've been raised that we are a slave, and I cannot believe that this is God. He brought us to this world to be his slave. I mean, I cannot believe that.
This is a difference between Christianity and Islam, because we see that God gives us a choice. When we go back to the story with Adam, and we know that he was given a choice by God, that choice determined whether the world became good or bad, but also it shows that we're not slaves of God. We have a choice whether we follow him or not in that way. And yes, we might say that I want to be a slave of God. I want to worship God. I want to be devoted to him. But he loves us because he made us and we're more his children. This is what was so refreshing when Jesus came. And we will be talking about some of the specific things Jesus said, but one of them was in the prayer that he told the people, called the Lord's Prayer. And he said, we should pray to God as our Father. And talking about God as our Father, and even to the people at that time, this was a wonderful and refreshing idea, that God is our Father. And I know this is so hard for many Muslims. They can't, they can't see that. They'll say, no, I can't pray to God as my Father. It seems almost disrespectful.
Exactly.
You know, like we're making him less than God, and yet he made us, he made everything, and he loves us. That's why he made us, is that we could choose to follow him and choose to be close to him, and not to be a slave that had no choice. It's, yes, God, thank you, God, yes, God, I do everything that you commanded that I must do in a way like predestination, so strict that no one has any choice in their life. Some people believe that. And fate, they call it fate. But as God's children, he wants us to choose to serve him from our heart. And is that something that you felt even as a young person, or when didn't you come to see that? You never felt you were a slave of God, or?
No, as when I start, trying to come out from that environment, Islamic, and start living in a different, country where there's a lot of churches from Christianity, and I speak with them. I feel so relaxed with them because they start teaching me. They tell me about Jesus more. This is what I think, that this is the way God, he wants.
We would call that maybe peace. Jesus is called in the Bible the Prince of Peace, the wonderful counselor, mighty God, and Prince of Peace. And I think, Huda, that peace that you experienced in the churches is something that we would love to share with all of our viewers, isn't it?